Yeah. So today we are going to cover verbs, just an introduction to verbs and to kanji. So let us start. Verb. So whenever we talk about verbs, this word comes often. Verb conjugation. So what is verb conjugation? Let us know. So verb is, in Japanese, it is
doushi.
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 Doushi. Okay, this is doushi. Doushi is verb in Japanese. And what is verb? Is, eat, drink, swim, run. All these are examples for verbs. And conjugation is like this. For example, she works. We are adding S along with the verb work. She worked yesterday. So something that is done. So we are adding ed here. And she is still working. So we are adding ing to indicate that the work is still going on. So these are different forms of verbs. So just like in English, Japanese also has such conjugation. However, it becomes a little bit complicated because there is a casual way of saying it and polite way of saying the verbs. So works, when we say it in casual forms, it is
Hataraku.
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 Yeah, so hataraku. So this is hatara. So this is kanji for work. So it's the main. And then we are adding this ku, which means that it works. And a polite way of saying hataraku is
Hatarakimasu.
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 Yeah, so hatarakimasu. Kimasu. We are adding mas everywhere to show polite form. So worked, when we add worked, it means
Hataraita.
hataraita. We are adding ita. Yes.
Hataraita.
Hataraita.
Yes, that's right. And
Hatarakimashita.
Hatarakimashita.
very good.
Hatarakimashita.
Hatarakimashita.
Yeah, so hatara, and then we are adding ki, and then ma shita, mashita, something that is finished or done. And is working is
Hataraiteiru.
hataraiteiru. Ne?
Hataraiteiru.
Yes. Very
Hataraiteiru.
Very good. And the polite way is
Hataraiteimasu.
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 yes. So these are different ways of joining with the main word. We are adding something and it becomes, we are conjugating or adding it, isn't it? So, and there is one important point here. This one, this hataraku, is dictionary form or basic form. So when you are looking for this word hatara and then ku, then this is the word that you will have to look in the dictionary. Hataraku, hatarakimasu. And when I'm talking about dictionary, I mean the book. The application, it's very easy to find. There are so many good applications to find the words. So that won't have any problem. So let us look at some more types of forms. So this is hatara. Okay, hatara means work. So say something like is not working. Then we'll be adding kanai or kimasen. So the word will be like this.
働かない。
働かない。
Yes.
働かない。
働かない。
Very good. And
働きません。
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 yeah, very good. So kimasen, masen. This is a polite way of saying. And hatara ka. We are adding ka and the nai. And how to say it in past tense, like was not working.
働いていなかった。
働いてなかった。
Very good.
働いていなかった。
働いてませんでした。Oh, sorry.
Yeah, very good.
働いてなかった。
Yeah, very good. So hataraite nakata and hataraite imasen deshita. So very good that you are able to read the hiragana. I did not put Romaji on purpose because from now onwards we should learn things in hiragana. So yes, so this was about the verb conjugation. So based on this verb conjugation, the verbs are divided into 3 groups. Okay, group 1, group 2, and group 3. Or we can say Godan verbs. Okay, this is Godan verbs, Ichidan verbs, and irregular verbs. Okay, so usually the Godan verbs will have the oo sound ending with something oo or moo and so on. And Ichidan will have ru verbs. And irregular verbs are very easy. There are just 2 verbs to this, suru and kuru. So this was just an introduction of verbs. In the coming class, I will take each one in detail, and give lots of examples. So today we just had to know this following things only. So this is the summary. What is verb conjugation and casual and polite forms. So there are two ways of writing the verb, unlike in English, and dictionary form. So if you want to look in the dictionary, that's how we have to see. And 3 types of division: Godan, Ichidan, and the irregular verbs. So this is all we had to know. Now let us go to the next topic. Kanji. So Kanji, can you tell me how to pronounce this?
漢字。
Kanji.
漢字。
Kanji. So this is how it's pronounced. Kanji. So kanji. So for example, the word man or person, unlike this hiragana and katakana, which were sound based, kanji are, each word has its own one kanji character. So for example, man or a person, this is the kanji character. So first let us look at how it is written. So it is written in a strict stroke order. So this is the first stroke. Now, stroke 1, it starts from here and comes like this. So this is first stroke and this is second stroke. So kanji is written in a strict stroke order. And why do we call it stroke order? Because originally the kanji was written with a brush. So we make brush strokes. And this stroke order in Japanese is called
必準。
Hitsujun.
必準。
Hitsujun.
Hitsujun. This is how it is. So now let us look at the pronunciation. So there are two ways of reading a kanji. One is onyomi.
Onyomi.
Yeah. And onyomi is
ジン。
jin,
ミン。
nin. So this is jin and nin.
Jinen.
Nin. Yeah.
Nin.
Yeah, nin. And this is
Kunyomi.
kunyomi. That's right. Kunyomi is
と。
Hito.
tu.
人。
Hito.
And this is written in, if you notice, this is written in katakana.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll explain. It's written in katakana because when the kanji was adapted from China, it came along with its own sound. So the Chinese, they called this particular, which is for the person. So it has its own pronunciation, jin and nin. And the Japanese, they called the person as hito. So this was called jin and nin. However, there was already a word for the person, which is hito. This is why there are two pronunciations for like this. This is written in katakana, jin and nin. And hito is written in hiragana. And usually, this is how it is read. So for example, there are these two sentences.
あの人は誰ですか？
Ano hito wa dare desu ka?
あの人は誰ですか？
Ano hito wa dare desu ka?
Yes, that's right. Ano hito wa dare desu ka? So who is that person? Okay, dare is who, and ano hito, that person. So here the pronunciation, we are pronouncing it as hito. Ano jin wa dare desu ka or ano nin ga dare desu ka? We are not reading it. So usually the kunyomi, when it is stand alone, then we are calling it as in kunyomi. And for example, in a sentence like this, he is Mr. Mark, he is an American. Okay? So
マークさんです。アメリカ人です。
Mark,
Mark-san desu. Amerika-jin desu.
yes, and America jin des. So whenever we want to say that certain person is belonging to certain country, then we are saying nani nani jin, something jin, like that. So for example, I am Indo jin. Toshiro is Nihon jin or Philippine jin. So this is how we use jin. That's why the onyomi is usually used when it comes along with some other words. So this rule doesn't necessarily always be 100% so. Sometimes the reading depends. So with practice, one can know what pronunciation is right. So this was about the pronunciation. Now let us look at Kanji radicals. This will make the reading of kanji, to memorize the kanji, very easier. So let us know what is kanji radicals. Kanji radicals are building blocks. Okay, building blocks of these radicals are the building blocks. So let us know this. So take, for example, this word photo in English. So photo was taken from the Greek word called light. It's called light. So photo means light. So whenever we see words like photosynthesis or photography, then it means that it is something to do with light. So for example, over here, photo and graph. Graph is something drawing. So photo and graph is photo. Oh, okay, it's something to do with the light. So just like that, the kanji also has such kind of radicals. And there are about 214 radicals. So, not all kanji will be used as a radical. There are some. So let us know. First, let us see how the radicals are there in Japanese. So, for example, this hito. This hito will become like this when it is used as a radical. So wherever you see this kind of kanji, it means that it is something to do with a person or a man. Okay? So for example, this plus this kanji. So this kanji is for
What?
tree.
Tree.
Yeah. So a person and a tree. So say a person is resting in the tree or something like that. So it will make this particular kanji. So this plus this makes this. And the meaning of this is rest or a holiday. And it will come with its own onyomi and kunyomi. So yeah, and this hito ben,
Nimben.
nimben. This is ninben, and this nimben will always come on the left side. So hito plus 3 gives this. So the hito will have its own onyomi, kunyomi. This, which means, and a different meaning, person. This will have its own onyomi and kunyomi. So the onyomi for this tree is boku and moku.
Boku.
And
Moku.
and it's written in katakana. And kunyomi is he and ko. And it has its own meaning, tree. So when these two are added, it will have its own onyomi and kunyomi. So the onyomi is
You.
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 Q.
And the kunyomi is
Yasumu.
yeah. Yasu, and then we are adding here something mu. So yasu, and then this means that we are adding something here. Yasumu. Yasumu means rest or holiday. So here we'll be adding a hiragana. So this means yasu, and then we are adding a hiragana here. Yasumu means rest or holiday. So let us look at one more example of the same nimben. So when we are adding this person with this kanji, it's just like a tree, but over here. Yeah, it is hon. Very good. It's book or origin. That's right. So, and it'll give this kanji, and it is body or counter for images, and it has its own onyomi and kunyomi. So, onyomi is tai, kunyomi is karada. So, this is how the radicals are used. So if there is a nimben here, we come to know, oh, this is something to do with person. So this is how easier to remember the kanji. So these ones are all different kind of radicals. This is how in the so as you know, the kanji is written in a box, and each kanji can be written like this over here on the left hand side, just like the previous example. And over here, it is called sukuri. Each one has its own name, placement, and its own name. You don't need to remember all these ones. This is just for just a kind of introduction. For example, take this one. This over here. This means if you find this in any kanji, it means that it is something to do with ice. Like sumetai, you will find this kanji. And for example, this one, it's something to do with acts. And this is on the top. So over here, if you find something like this, it means that it is something to do with grass. So in tea, cha, you will find this kanji. Cha, or flowers, you will find this kanji. So this is how we can remember the radicals. So now I think we have finished the kanji. So let us have a summary. Kanji should be written in correct stroke order, in the right stroke order. So if it is horizontal line first, then the horizontal line should be written first. And kanji usually has two way of pronouncing. One is onyomi, and which is Chinese reading, and kunyomi, which is Japanese reading. And some kanjis are used as radicals. So like this hito, when it is added with other kanjis, and it will have its own onyomi and kunyomi. So this was about introduction of kanjis. So sorry for making this lesson little bit boring, but next time we'll have lot of examples and verbs. So anyone has any questions for today's lesson? Nell, any question?
No, it's actually, I understood it. Thank you.
Okay. Wow. So yeah,
It's just, I think the kanji is the hardest part of learning
yes.
how to write, because
Yeah,
there's so many.
Yeah, there are so many.
And you have your onyomi and the kanyomi.
Yeah, and onyomi and kunyomi, to remember all
Kunyomi.
those.
Yeah.
It is quite challenging.
Yeah.
And but for N5, for basic, there is just about 150 kanjis. And it's easier to remember the kanji and the radicals. So I'll be taking one by one kanji. So please don't worry. It's a lot of words and examples. So it'll get easier.
Yes, and I think by actually looking at it all the time, it's easier
Yeah.
to remember.
Yes, that's right. And by practicing, if you keep on practicing. And
Yes.
if you are practicing it with the writing, then please write it in maybe in that square kind of notebooks, like this in mathematical kind of
Yeah.
that square. So it's good to write the kanji inside the
Box. Yeah.
and
Right.
please remember that it is something to do with art, it's very artistic
Yes.
to write this. So I'm not good in it. So I don't try much. So yeah, so that's how with practice you can know. So each day you can take one kanji and learn.
I think in kanji, when it's a simple character, it's easier to write. But when there's so many strokes,
Yes, that's right.
that's the one that's more difficult.
Yeah, it gets more complicated.
Yeah, I think I remember it more visually than being able to write it down.
Yeah, and there are subtle difference. Like we saw this difference between the karada and the rest yasumu. So there is just one line, one
Stroke,
stroke
yeah.
that's different. So if we miss that, so that's why one has to be very careful
Yeah.
and learn. Yeah.
Thank
So yeah,
you.
kanji is the most difficult part, perhaps. Yeah, so thank you. And yeah, I see the ID. I'm sorry, I didn't ask this name. Ragna?
Oh, Ragna.
Ragna. So yeah, is there any question?
Yeah, omoshiroi desu. So
Omoshiroi.
interesting.
Domo arigato.
Omoshiroi desu.
Domo arigato.
Yeah, arigatou gozaimasu.
Domo. That's very nice of you to say so. And next time we'll have a lot of examples. Then it will get more easier. Yeah.
Hi.
Okay, so thank you. And we'll upload this later on in our YouTube, so you can again relearn the whole thing.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question.
Yes.
Kurasu wa maishu desu ka?
Kurasu wa?
Maishu desu ka?
毎週です。はい、そうです。毎週、土曜日5時頃、日本の時間です、これは。5時頃。
Right.
So,
Amazing.
yeah, so we can have this class, my shoe. Okay. So, じゃあ、質問がないから、これで終わりましょう。So, どうもありがとうございます。Thank
どう
you.
もありがとう。
ありがとうございます。
じゃあまた来週会いましょう。
Thank you.
Thank you.
ご常備また。
はい、どうも。